Hello everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to Dynamic Modeling of Buildings and Cities, and today we'll be covering about OpenStreetMap, or its shortcut is OSM. So what is an OpenStreetMap? OpenStreetMap is an open source online data map that is used by urban designers and architects to retrieve 3D model of data and of a particular area. But since this is an open source, meaning that anyone can input the data in OSM, hence it may not be accurate. So for today, I'll be showing you how to edit the data or add a data into a OSM. So when you download the data from OSM, it's already included with the addition that you want. So firstly, go into OSM. You need to log in, and I've already logged in here, as you can see. And if you don't have a login account, just make one. It's free. So this is the first thing that you will see in after you logged in. So you can see that there's a search button here to search the address, and on the right hand side there's some tools like zoom in, zoom out, my location, layers, map key like legends, share, add node to the map, and query features. So layers here, it can varies from standard layers like this one, cycles map, transportation map, and this one here is probably in European language that I couldn't understand. And another one is humanitarian, but for today, I'll be just showing you on how to do it in standard thing. So what you want to do is just to edit this map, and again, remember that this is a open source, so that means that you can contribute to put information or and edit any information that's already inside. So to begin, click edit in here, and as you can see, this is a different interface. So in the edit mode, it has more control and it has a background image to so that it's going to make you easy. It's going to very convenient when you are tracing a building in real dimension. So just scroll out to zoom out, and it can be quite heavy because it's using the satellite live image. So it also depends on your internet connection. So in here, this is the same tool. In here, there's a zoom in, zoom out, and show my location. And there is another setting that I want to show. Is the first this one here. It's called background settings. So background settings allowed you to change the background image from different sources. So this one here, for example, City of Melbourne, February 2019, and this is going to be the default when you log in. It's using Bing aerial image. It's going to be very fast when you load in. It's going to load the image very fast, but in compensation of the quality of the image itself. But for the purpose of this example, I'm just going to keep showing in Bing. Perhaps I can do it OpenStreetMap. Yep, so that's the default one, so no, I'm not going to use that. So let's just use Bing, because Bing has sufficient background image. And then you can scroll down, and as you can see, there's a lot of information already put here. This is the City of Melbourne, so it makes sense that many information is already inside. And also this OpenStreetMap, just a little bit of trivia, is currently used in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. They use the OpenStreetMap, so any mess around with this map is going to be included in that game. So we want to be careful as well, because this is also used by another platform. So you can see there's in here, when you press something, for example, a road or a building, you can see there's an edit feature over here. So I'm going to talk more about the edit feature, but basically, if you want to edit something, just press the shape, just press the feature, and then put the fields that you want to go, and then you can put another field here. But right now, I'm going to show you how to add a building. Now, a building is called a feature in here, and as you can see, there are 3 features on the top here. The first one is points, second one is line, and third one is area. So points add restaurants, places like monuments, postal boxes, or other points to the map. Like for example, is this one here. That's a point, and also this one here, that's a point. But point also can also indicate a tree, like a vegetation. So if you want to add trees, for example, along this road, you can put a point and then change the feature to trees, and then it's going to be imported to the OSM data, the OSM file when you download the data. Okay, let me just show you. When I click, for example, to add a tree, let's just find, yeah, there you go. So for example, a tree over here. So you can see there's a lot of feature type. These are all denoting a specific place. For example, hospital grounds. This is hospital ground. This is going to be a tree. So you want to choose the natural features, natural wood, and then you can put the name. You can put the leaf type, leaf cycle, add fields, yada yada yada. So you can put the information here if you have it, and make sure that you have it before inputting the data. But for the sake, if you want to just do a 3D model out of it, make sure that you have the name tree, for example, because when you save later, when you save the OpenStreetMap later, when you save your work later, you will need there will be an error if you don't put the name. So make sure that you put the name here. Yep, so it's a tree. Then there you go. So second feature is line. Line is highways, streets, pedestrian paths, canals, and or other lines to the map, like this one here. Those ones are maps. I'm not going to show you how to use the lines because it's quite similar to the point. But right now I want to show you the area because I think that is the most important bits. That's the most important bits when you want to have to export a 3D model from OSM data and then put it into Rhino to have 3D blocks of the city. So let's just find a building that has not been that doesn't have any area on it. There you go, that might be a good one. So what you want to do is just click this one, and then it's going to put you in an addition mode. So you want to click this point, this, and that. Just trace around the buildings. So this is why the background image is really important when you're tracing the buildings. And then if you want to get out of here, just press enter, and there you go. That's one area. And now we need to specify what type of the area it is. So this is the list of this feature type, which is the first one is natural wood, like parks, for example, or forest. So you can actually note there's a forest over there. And then water bodies, building features, land features, and also natural features. But this one here is a building, and you want to put the name of it. So you want to cross-reference with Google Image or Google Maps or Google Earth Pro, just to make sure that you have the right information. And I'm going to show you how, especially with Google Earth Pro. It's free at the moment, so you can download it and use it all you want. So if you want to go to Google Earth Pro and then search for that building, and which is probably so you can see that there's a Flagstaff Garden over there. So it must be this one here, that one. Yeah. So we found the building. Just to make sure, check again. So it's on Dudley Street, and this is the middle building. It looks like it's lower than that one. So let's see. There you go. Now this is the thing with the background image as well, because Bing took this image maybe in a different time with the Google Earth Pro. Maybe Google Earth Pro took it in 2012, for example, and then Bing took it in 2015. So there's there you go. This is historical imagery from the year 2000. So there's a large time differences. So you need to make sure you need to really make sure that doesn't really happen. So what you want to make sure is that it's on the same date, or it's set on the same year for the list. So as you can see, there's quite differences in this area over here. Yeah, just close this one. That is supposed to be Dudley Street. Turn on. It might be that building over there. Yeah, we need to check it more and more often because of the time difference. If not, we'll just take another place. We'll just find another place. Just a little bit north. Like for example, that one there in Roslyn Street. Let's just check whether there's a building in Roslyn Street. Yep, there is a building over there. So let's just take this warehouse over here. That is about that one there. So you want to make an area over there. Make sure you click it, not dragging it, because when you drag it, it's going to pan across by accident. Press enter and be careful when you are. I'll show you what happened just now. Be careful when you are entering this kind of thing here, because what's gonna happen there is that you're going to add a new point on the existing area, and that's something that you don't want to avoid. So make sure that you do not press the add a point in the lines, but you can actually cross over here, and then there, and then there. Press enter, and then you want to make sure what's the height of that building, making sure that it's the same one again. Yeah, it's approximately the same. So you want to make sure that what's the height of the building. So this is not going to be very accurate, but it's going to give a general idea of how big the building is. So in Google Earth Pro, you want to use ruler over here, and then use 3D path. Now 3D path is different from path here, because that's going to only measure the path in 2D, whereas 3D path you can measure it vertically or on an angle. So you need to be careful as well when you're pressing the button where you're pointing at. So I'm going to do it there, and I'm going to do it there at the second. So it's about 8 meters high. So this building is about 8 meters high. Just to make sure that the height, just to make sure that you select the right points. And then going back to Google, select that this is a building. And do we have the name of the building? Just use the Google Street. Nope, not really. But actually we can have the address number over there. So good. Yeah, so that's the thing with Google Earth. It's quite tricky to use, but it's really a powerful tool. Then we just want to make sure that that's 112 Roslyn Street. So when we got back here, 112 Roslyn Street, and yes, this is a building. It's 2 levels high, and the height is 8 meters. Again, this is unit 112 Roslyn Street. That's North Melbourne. Big. And postcode is it is West Melbourne. So yeah, you can cross-reference the data here, like the address and everything. So there you go, 112 Roslyn Street, West Melbourne, Vic, 3003. So just input that. 3003. This is on West Melbourne. And you can add another field here, but for this exercise it's not really necessary. So I'm just going to leave that. So after you've done everything in here, you got the meters, and this is the most important part when you want to export it to a block, because this is the parameter, this is the feature that will make your exported data in 3D or not. So press save, and then you can review the changes here, and as you can see, there's warnings as well. There are warnings as well, so we can ignore this one because we didn't do anything about that. Now we can make sure that this here doesn't cross that one. So we can just move this around. Press the right click button and move, just to tidy this up a bit. There you go. Save. You can actually ignore this issue. That's weird. I must have accidentally pressed that button. So yes, you can actually review the warning here if you mess something up. Like for example, that one there, I must have pressed something wrong. So you can undo, you can delete. Delete, and then it's going back to normal. And here, take this as higher. Yeah, there you go. So there's no more warning. And if there's an error, OpenStreetMap will tell you what the error is, and then you can rectify the error. So here are all the changes that we did. It's going to keep track all the history, so we make sure that we can review this. And again, since this is an open source, everyone can use it. And change set to comment at building 112 Roslyn Street, West Melbourne. Then upload. So what does it mean by upload is that it's going to put the data that we add into the website of OSM, so it's going to be used by everyone. So there you go. It's already updated and uploaded. So this here, everyone can see what we did in here. Right now I'm going to show you how to export the data that we did and all the models into an OSM file, and then we can import it to Rhino. So click export. Now in export, there are two things that we need to take notice of. First one is here, this number here. These are the longitude and latitude. So these numbers will create a frame on an exact geolocation of the area that you want to export. But since this is tricky, and we want to have, for example, you want to have a quick export, you can manually select a different area and then edit the frames, for example, the whole Melbourne CBD over here. And then just click export. There you go. As you can see, it's already downloaded here as .osm map. So in the next video, I will talk about how to import this to 3D to Rhino 3D, and generate building blocks in the Rhino. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.